Brightside with the rare first. He's back on the board, boys.
The rare first.
Back on the board. Yeah, exactly, LFQ. That was the thing we were laughing about. I was like, oh man, I'm not buying a fucking car that gives you like, equity in the company. That's crazy. I want a car that is like tested and so good that people are buying it. Yeah, I'm sorry, brother. You've been getting absolutely destroyed by the other firsters lately. It's just, it's rare.
Yeah, you've actually lost your tie with Omni. You're in third place now.
Bro, you let Omni beat you on firsts? That's crazy.
Yep.
Also, 75 stream streak is huge, dude. That's awesome. Thank you. That's like a year and a half. No, it's like about a year. Less than a year.
3 fewer streams than we've been making Dread.
Yep.
Adder says we officially branched for version 1.0. I'm tired but alive. Yeah, dude, it's been noticeable that you've been busy lately, I'll say.
Yeah.
You've been quiet. So
that's okay. He's
no, yeah, no, it's I'm just saying, like, I know you've been working really hard. It's been very apparent. So I'm happy to hear that it's going well, and it sounds like you guys are wrapping it up. Yeah, so what does that mean awesome. Specifically with wrapped for 1.0? Is that just like day one patch type stuff that you guys are trying to wrap up?
Usually that means disc press, like master, and then
okay. I kind of thought they already did that, I guess, but
there will likely be a day one patch after that. But I mean, like, that's everybody.
Yeah,
you want to keep trying to fix bugs until the very last minute.
Of course, yeah, and I'm sure they will have a day one patch, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you already pressed the disc. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Whoops.
I kind of remember him telling us that already. So yeah.
I mean, I bought a disc. You're telling me, bro.
Bro, they bought all your discs.
Yep. They bought all of them. Every single one. Why did that get fucking what? It didn't like that word?
What, over the pants hand job?
Yeah, dude. The mod or auto mod was like, no, you can't say OTPHJ.
Dang, he knows what it is. All right.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
So going back to this Mortal Shell thing real quick, and Adder, you don't have to answer things, of course, that's always the case. But it makes me wonder, would your game work if the console is never connected to the internet? Like if somebody goes and buys the disc and put it in, does that actually work? We're version 0.99 for discs, so they're good. Just some polished stuff based on player feedback and perf reports. We are shifting to bug fixing and post-release stuff now. No more new content. Yeah, the game is fully playable without internet fucking based. Good job.
That's also a dangerous question, Tony, and he has to answer that way. But yes,
I mean,
good job, Adder.
Good answer.
Yes, good answer.
I mean, there would be some people that have to answer like you literally won't be able to like get past the menu if you're not connected to the internet, and they'd be lying if they said otherwise. Like, and I don't think that will be the case here. So,
no, I believe based on all the other decisions that Cold Symmetry has made that it would be playable off of that off the disc without the internet. Yeah. It just won't have some of the other bug fixes and stuff.
And I mean, like 6 months from now, who knows if Sony will allow that to be the case, whether it would have technically been possible or not. But
I mean, I guess it's a good time to go straight into Sandfall.
If you bought a COD disc in 2017 without internet and tried to play it, you would get a main menu. We weren't playing that game. Yep.
There have been plenty of studios who've done that and then defended the action saying, everyone does this. It's fine.
You'd be a Dexterno headline on launch day if your game worked that way. I'll tell you right now. So
you can't do that in 2026. But speaking of this conversation, the leadership of Sandfall, the Claire Obscure guys, said that they're super sad is the quote about Sony's decision to stop making consoles with discs.
Did you see the Capcom one?
Which one?
I saw a headline. I should have thrown it in our thing, but
I might have thrown it in there.
It was basically that Capcom said that they had no intention to stop with physical releases, and that they like think that it's like a really successful part of like their business model or something. And I just thought that was interesting because I was like, it's not up to you guys actually. Like you could say you want to make physicals for PlayStation, they're not doing it anymore, whether you want to or not. Like they're not going to allow you to do it. So
well, I mean,
I just thought that was an interesting statement. So
they could press a disc, but there just wouldn't be an optical drive in like a PS6, which is weird.
Yeah. Well, but I kind of was under the impression that like any release that happens after whatever this cutoff is next year, like they won't make discs for them, no matter what. But I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, LFQ's giving you a well actually here, Brightside. And yes, we don't use Nightbot. We have did you name our bot, Tony?
He's always been the Grove Tender.
The Grove Tender, that's it.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was that or Cornholio. That's a different bot.
I mean, Grove Tender maybe turns into Beazle at some point, but
yeah.
They don't know any of the things we're talking about, but
yeah, you guys don't know. We have secret technology. Secret fucking technology. We have ambiguous mix-ups. Yeah, so Claire Obscure guys were like, damn, this is fucking sad. Like, why would you do this? Like, as players, we want discs. And that's basically like, now we've got Sandfall CEO Guillaume Brochet saying, and even if nowadays I mainly play on PC myself, we have a lot of people on the team who play on PS5 and love to collect physical discs. I think it's a part of the beauty of art too, that it's something tangible that you can touch. I completely appreciate that people want to have their rows of DVDs and games and just feel that they own them. So I think it's a shame. I mean, business-wise, I can understand why it may make sense, but I think in terms of the artistry of video games, it's a sad decision. Yeah, that's like probably the most level-headed take I've heard about it. I think all of us can agree with that as well.
Yeah, I've felt weird about it because of like what we were talking about with Adder, where like to some extent people were getting like real crazy about like wanting physical editions of games when I was sitting there going like, I know for a fact that physical edition of that COD game that you bought literally will not work without your console being connected to the internet and it downloading a bunch of updates, and it like literally doesn't even really care that the disc is there at some point. I don't know. Like I collect vinyls. I don't listen to them all that much, but it's like those things are going to work without the internet, barely without any like electricity or anything. And I like feel okay about that, but I wouldn't really feel that great about like collecting a VHS tape because I feel like that's probably not going to work that well for very long, you know, because of degradation and all of that. I don't know.
You have to keep a fucking VHS tape in like a humidor, dude, because the magnetic tape will warp based on like.
And probably like a Faraday cage just to like protect the magnetic tape itself. And magnetism wears out over time. Like even if you do all the things right.
Yeah, if you watch it a lot, you'll wear it out.
You'll wear it out faster. Yep.
Yeah.
This was literally only a temp key to launch the game. Yeah. So it's like some people are going to feel really strongly about the fact that they went and bought that physical disc. And it's like, I guess I understand, but like they don't own anything on that disc. They just own a piece of plastic that doesn't do anything.
And at risk of being inaccurate, I'm fairly certain that Destiny, even though it shipped with discs for D1 and D2, I'm pretty sure that they didn't have anything on them. It was
and the other side of the coin there too is just the servers.
The launcher.
There's a back end that has
to of course, because it's an always online game. But like you couldn't install the game and play it offline. Like it never worked that way. And the disc was like a weird thing where they were like, we got to have a disc. That's what people expect. And the disc, like, it had a couple megs of data on it that would, push it to download the whole.
We're not talking about N64 cartridges. I don't know. It's just like, it's not the same thing to me. So if you want a cool box and you want a thing to put on your shelf, like I get that. But just the thing that's inside of it is still kind of stupid to me.
Yeah. Optical drive media is not as robust as it was 10 years ago.
Yep. And like cartridges are great, but like, I don't know. I've seen people talk about how you could take like SSDs and you could make cartridges that have the games on them and stuff, but cartridges have to have batteries in them to keep them alive or they stop working. And it would be the same with any game cartridge. And like the couple megs that were on an N64 cartridge were pretty easy to keep alive. But if you're talking about like a 200 gig COD game plus all of your like saved data and stuff in it, like, I don't know. It's just not really feasible.
Yeah. So he just continues to go on about physical release. He does address the constraints as a studio. You have to account for production time of the physical items, and you earn less money per copy because you have to spend money on the physical pressing of discs and the boxes and shit like that. He goes on to say, but for us, physical was something special. We also felt the game could be special to players and that they would want to, as sorry, I don't know who's saying this part. This article structured really weird, and they spelled Guillaume's name wrong, which is crazy. They spelled it Guillermin, and then in the next sentence spell Guillaume correctly. I don't. This is a very low effort article. This is probably one of those AI articles that you were telling me about, Tony.
AI doesn't spell things wrong though. That's the weird one.
Well, I mean, it could be like mixed. It confused a name and just typed something that I thought was okay. That was close enough. But yeah, you're right. It doesn't. It's not going to misspell.
I mean, been like dictated like bad TTS, and they didn't even read it. Like I don't know.
The crazy part is this is a Chris Scullion, and I think he's the managing editor. No, he's not. I can't remember the name of the managing editor in VGC. He's the deputy editor. So okay, so he's still one of the leaders of VGC, and he didn't edit his own shit. That's crazy. Anyway, Claire Obscure guys also agree. We want discs.
No, I think he's talking about two different people. CTO's name is Tom Guillermin, and the main guy's name is Guillaume. They're almost spelled the same. Yeah, it's very confusing. I just had to like skim through that.
Guillaume Brochet.
Yep. And then you go down to like the fourth paragraph, Sandfall co-founder and CTO Tom Guillermin.
Yeah, never mind. Okay, that makes sense. But the next sentence is what confused me. We also felt the game could be special to players so that they would want to, as Guillaume said, hold it in their hands. And there's no quotation marks on that, which like is crazy.
And they're talking about the other guy whose name is spelled almost exactly the same in the sentence before. Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah.
Yep.
So even though it made things harder, meant less money per unit, it was important for us to provide players who want to have that physical game in their hands with an option because we value that as players too. Yeah, and I mean, Cold Symmetry did the same thing. Adders said like we wanted discs. We care about that as players, and it turns out players want discs too. So yeah, I think it's pretty fucking clear, and I doubt Sony's going to reverse course because that would mean them losing a lot of money again. This is insane. What's up?
I don't think they'll reverse course either, but it has been something where like the backlash has been stronger than I expected, to be honest. Like I knew people would be upset about it, but like it has remained persistent, and people have been loud about it, and I don't really hear too many people like. I'm admittedly kind of ambivalent about it, but I like want people to have what they want. So like I don't care if they keep getting physicals. I'm not a physical game buyer personally, but like people are very vocal and upset about it. So I don't think they'll reverse. I just think it's like too big of a decision to reverse on, and I can understand a lot of the reasons why they're doing it, but I don't know. I might not be surprised if they like keep it around in like a smaller form or something, or like allow publishers to do it optionally like we were talking about for some extended period of time maybe. But
I think the way they reverse it is if a competitor is making a lot more money than them because they have physical editions. If there's compelling data to show people,
and I don't think there is one, but like everybody says the Switch 2 cards are just like a code in a box basically now, like Adder was talking about. And Microsoft just rolled out this thing that lets you take your physical collection and digitize it so that you don't have to put the discs in your system anymore, specifically to migrate towards this.
So this is the type of situation where the federal U.S. government, so like the big government that governs all the states, has repeatedly gotten involved in business when they do stuff. I see this adjacent to the concept of price fixing, where like all the grocery store chains get together, have a secret meeting and say, hey guys, we could make more money on bread if we all raise the price of bread by 10 cents. So it seems to me that the platforms probably got together and were like, hey, this benefits all of us. We have to agree. Like everyone agrees we're no longer making physical media. That's how we make it work. So it's just going to take one one platform to break with everyone else, and then they'll have a huge upper hand. I don't think they will either. Sony was fully aware that it was going to be a PR storm. I think they're trying to jettison the whole side of their business, but without Microsoft competition and Nintendo all but ditching physical, Sony has no reason to reverse while also saving a lot of money. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. None of them have a reason to reverse.
When was the last time you could buy a physical PC game? Like I think we moved on from that probably in like 2014, something like that.
I don't even know. I mean, yeah. I don't have
computers don't come with optical drives anymore. You would have to buy one.
Yeah, I don't think I have an optical drive in my machine right now, but I definitely have an optical drive.
And they just talk about how like GTA 6 like wouldn't even fit on like the biggest Blu-ray based on what they know about the file size. Like there's games that are out right now that probably fit into that. Like XCOM was like 150 gigs or something. It's crazy.
What?
Orange Box is the last physical release. Holy shit. Yeah, might not be wrong. I mean, I bought like a lot of World of Warcrafts on physical. That was probably after Half-Life 2 came out, but the audio alone wouldn't fit on the Blu-ray disc. That's fucking crazy.
All right, AI says the last major PC game to be released on true physical disc, meaning the entire game was on one or more discs without needing an online install, was Microsoft Flight Sim 20, which came on 10 physical discs.
My God.
Oh, man, that's fucking funny. And then, of course,
I want to say that game was like a terabyte or something. Like,
yeah,
it's crazy.
GTA 5, which is 2014-15, SimCity 5 and its expansions, Skyrim, Fallout 4 Game of the Year Edition. I guess those are notable ones that people were collecting.
Crazy.
By the mid 2010s, yeah. So we're talking like almost 20 years that people have been. Yeah, it is crazy to think about. Consumers didn't care about it until the platforms were like, we're going to stop doing this, and then consumers are like, no, I want my physical media. So who knows? It might be not even a real thing. What's up, Lander? Fun fact, Microsoft originally worked on game streaming with Project Rio around 2011 or so, but they canceled it because of the heat generated from the Xboxes in the data center. Yeah, I believe that. It's rumored that Xbox will support non-Microsoft storefronts in the future. Nice, dude. I like that rumor. Yeah, and Adder said, Tony said that it was crazy, but the audio alone wouldn't fit on a Blu-ray disc. Yep, totally true. Audio is the biggest data footprint for a big video game, especially a shooter.
Something I've learned since we started working together is just like, if somebody could figure out how to compress audio in like a hyper effective way, this is like the story of Silicon Valley, basically, right? They figured out like a file compression technique that nobody had ever done before, and it like changed the world. Like it's apparent that we still need that in audio, I guess, because compression in audio makes it sound worse, and they haven't figured out how to not make that be the case, basically. And if you want high quality audio, it has to remain uncompressed. The file sizes are huge. It's like, as far as Adder and Vince have explained it to me over time, it's like 90% of the file size of a game a lot of the time now. So
LFQ was saying, if the different console manufacturers pivot to only selling through their own storefronts, couldn't there be a world where a lawsuit similar to Epic's suit against Google Play can make the consoles have multiple storefronts? Yes. And I think the loss of physical media and forcing a consumer to download the product could also result in that. I mean, this is where I was saying there's at least precedent in this country legally to be like, when these companies get together, they make it really bad for everyone. The best one I can point out was like they refer to it as the Ma Bell Telecom breakup in the 80s.
Yep.
So the way that worked is a telecom service provider, and it's Bell as in Alexander Graham Bell, the inventor of the fucking telephone. So that's how old the company was. They owned everything. So like your phone number, the phone that you had on the wall, the infrastructure all end to end from like someone's house to someone else's house across the country. And so they had so much leverage that they started doing fucked up shit, like making people rent a phone in order to just have a phone, which was borderline public utility at that time. So yeah, and then they got in there and they said you can't do this anymore. And then there were laws passed that said if you are a residential service provider, you cannot also own the infrastructure that connects major metropolitan areas or states or countries. You can't also own that. So there is a delineation. Comcast has come very close to getting through that legal loophole in recent history, where they do own a lot of the stuff in between as well, and they're a residential service provider. Because of I'm sure you guys have seen the dude with the giant mug, because he got memed a lot as like the FCC commissioner under I think it was either Obama or Biden. He was Ajit Pai, I think was his name. That guy, he was on like
the guy who like ruined
over a bunch
the cable and telecom setup.
Yes,
basically.
Yeah. So that guy was like CFO at Comcast, and then became the FCC guy because he moved into a lobby position, and then they just hired him to the fucking administration, which is crazy. And then he just fucked everything up and let Comcast run loose. That's why Comcast is horrible. He was a Trump guy. Well, there you go.
I think he might have come in in 2016.
Yeah, I remember hearing about him long before he was in the administration as a lobbyist, and he was a problem then. So that's probably where I was coming from. But either way, terrible choice of putting that guy in charge. What was the GameStop exists prevents this from being the case right now?
Just like what LFQ said, like if you could only buy PlayStation games on the PlayStation Store, and you could only buy Xbox games on the Xbox Store, and you could only buy Nintendo games on the Nintendo Store, those are monopolies. It is the same argument that they made against the iOS App Store. And the fact that you can go buy those games at GameStop right now, used, even kind of prevents that from being a thing. And I don't know. That's an interesting side of it I hadn't really thought about before.
Queen Anne says, I think there's a period of time where there were no discs and no one cared. Then Spotify, Netflix, and shitified streaming. Now people are looking back wanting to own media again. Yeah, I think that was like a gray area, Queen Anne, when discs were being made by some, but the businesses that were selling discs were losing money. So they've been trying to get away from physical media forever and just push a streaming service. Which reminds me, I saw in the news this morning, since we're talking about this, that Apple is planning to lease iPhones and other products to users through Klarna.
Yep.
That's so fucking alarming. Klarna is like a credit service that does like payday loans and shit like that at astronomical interest rates. And now you
not even that, it's like it'll show up in the checkout screen on like any online retailer now, and you can just like break the purchase into monthly payments or whatever with interest.
You can finance shit that you can't buy right now, and they're like fast tracking that. And they want to move people to like leasing stuff. Like this is very specifically a lease. You won't own any of this Apple hardware, but you can lease it for Apple Upgrade offers 12 and 24-month leasing options for iPhone, Apple Watch, and 24 and 36-month leasing options for Mac and iPad. Leasing prices start as low as $17.99 a month for iPhone, $11.99 for Apple Watch, $24.99 for Mac, and $11.99 for iPad. The crazy shit about that is they're going to make so much more money off of that than if they just sold you the physical device.
So is this like a lease to own, or is this just like a pay monthly and then you get the new phone every time it comes out?
I think you brought my assumption is that
here you go. At the end of the lease term, customers can upgrade their device to the latest generation, purchase it with a one-time payment, so you don't own it yet, or simply return it and exit the program. That's so crazy.
Oh my God, Lander, stop that. I love paying for DoorDash with Klarna. $0 down, baby. This burrito only cost me 2 months to pay off.
Legit, you can see screenshots. I see like, tweet jokes all the time. Somebody who bought like a Big Mac on Klarna over like a 6-month payment plan.
Yeah, people are doing that, and it's insane. Instead of buying like a $5 Big Mac, which is probably not even correct anymore, you're buying like a $25 Big Mac.
The lease thing here is the crazy part to me. Like an iPhone at $17.99 per month for what, 24 months? 12 and 24-month leasing options.
Yep.
So if we're doing $18 times 24 months, bad at math. $432 over 2 years. I mean, assuming that's the top model iPhone, that's like half of what it would cost if you bought it outright. I don't know.
Yeah, stay woke, Lander. Nice. I like that. $12 burrito with $29 in interest, but at least I only had to pay $2 today for lunch. Yeah, man. It's we're making fun of it, but guys, it is the actual problem. It is a real problem in the United States.
Yep.
For individual financial literacy, people are literally just buying takeout on Klarna. Like they're taking out loans so that they can get DoorDash. It's the craziest fucking shit I've ever seen. And a lot of people are doing this. A lot.
They're getting a new iPhone on Klarna that they can afford. That they don't need.
Yep.
I don't know, because it's $0 down. I don't know.
It's absolutely insane. And the biggest reason why they can get away with this shit is because people don't have financial literacy. They don't understand the mistake they're making when they do that. In the United States, they don't, especially younger generations. Yeah, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Financial Audit, but that YouTube channel like really made me shocked at how some people are living their lives with money. It's just so dangerous. Like just absolutely ruining their fucking lives for instant gratification. In racing, I mean, a lot of people that get to the track on Klarna or freshly opened maxed out credit cards. Oh my God. Oh my God, Adder. Oh boy, dude. I don't like any of that. That makes me very, very concerned. Pineapple, unfortunately, it was Brightside today. Brightside is in third with the first. I can't listen right now. It's 4 a.m. for me because I'm in Hawaii. Well, at least you're here in chat, dude. That's crazy. What does Northern Lions say? You need he was like, he's always negative about people who are like, I only listen or I only watch, because he's like, the medium is meant to be listened to and watched at the same time. You need to do both. It's crazy to do one or the other. Just thought I would stop in. I'm a dip now and go to the beach because why not? All right. Yeah. Good luck, man. Have fun at the beach at 4 a.m.
Yeah, why are you going to the beach at 4 a.m.?
He just said he's not even listening to us. He's just one directional fucking posting. I'm not gonna reply in text chat. Thank you, LFQ. That's very kind of you. Bro, you gotta go to the beach early to get those nice waves. Yeah, that's true. Queen Anne says this totally scares me. Yeah, it scares the shit out of me too, Queen Anne. Queen Anne is an audio quality enjoyer. I'm not like, I can appreciate sound, but I'm not like that deep in fucking NL crashing out is always a treat. I'm mixed on him. Sometimes I think he's really funny and clever. He's got some good witty repartee, but at other times I'm just like, what is this guy even fucking talking about right now? His musical taste drives me crazy. I cannot. When he starts trying to sing fucking Bob Dylan, I crash out. I have to turn the video off. There's a dude in Formula Drift right now that is well known to have over 150K in collective credit card debt and personal loans to make this single season happen. He proudly shared his paperwork showing his dedication to the sport. I mean, is he... That sounds like cope to me, Adder. It sounds like he realizes how big of a fucking mistake he's making, but he just wants other people to like support his decision. And I bet, people in his personal life don't. They're probably like, what are you fucking doing, dude? Like, we're going to lose the house, your kids aren't going to go to college type shit. That'd be my guess. If he's a single guy, whatever, man. He's living his life. It's all going to come to a head at some point, and then he's going to have no race cars, and he'll have to start over and figure shit out. That's crazy behavior. I don't understand it. But I guess for you guys, I don't use credit for anything, like at all. And that makes my credit score bad. But I buy stuff that I can afford right now. I don't get loans on anything. I also don't use credit cards.
I mean, I buy everything on a credit card, but it's on 100% payoff every month. So I don't buy anything I can't actually afford.
Yeah. That's definitely a good way to do it. I just choose to not participate in it.
Yeah. No, and I was actually like you until, I don't know, 5 years ago, something like that. But
yeah, it has caused
it's all
problems for
him
me.
trying to go to Japan for free. We got the credit card, just like, let's start
Oh, okay.
saving points. So we just buy everything on it.
Not using credit has caused problems for me because my credit score was low, which is fucked. Like you have a bad credit score if you just don't participate in the credit system. So it doesn't mean that you are untrustworthy or anything like that. Like I got, one loan. So when I bought my car, I bought it on a loan, but paid the whole thing off in like 6 months. And that changed my credit score dramatically. It went from like really shitty to like really good just with one loan. I only use credit as a middleman, so no one can touch my main accounts. Also, 100% paid off. I lost a bunch of money when debit card was cloned and bank fought the fraud. Ooh, that sucks. That's a good point, Adder. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. I'm back with headphones so I can hear now. There's a hurricane barely missing us, so the waves are very crazy. Yeah, it's crazy that you're up at 4 a.m., dude. Adder, I'm very upset about this Formula Drift guy. This is insane. Holy shit, Tony. They give you a 24K spending limit?
Yeah, and I was like, can you make it lower? And they were like, no, it's just like set by the bank. And I was just like, okay. I was trying to finance like a $500 like dryer or something,
Yeah.
just to, like, make it a little easier on myself. And they're like, oh yeah, for sure, you can go like $24,000 and before you get cut off. Okay.
Yeah, I got a Best Buy credit card, in my 20s as well, and they gave me like a $250 limit. And I was like, that's fine. I don't care. But yeah, that shit's nuts. It's 5-hour difference in my house, so I'm still not adjusted. I mean, yeah, I guess that's fair. Okay, so Claire Obscure talking about that. We talked about leasing iPhones. This one's a little interesting. Okay, so as we know, Palworld has been going crazy with the 1.0 release. They hit almost another million concurrent again, which is half of the launch concurrency, which was 2 million, which is still crazy. But VGC decided to review Palworld 1.0. They said, like, the title is a patently pleasing adventure held back by busy work. It's more than a subversive joke, and it has ideas that its inspiration should take note of. So they're saying, like, the Pokemon companies should look at Palworld and, like, take their ideas and make Pokemon better. Seems like they're saying they like the game, but then they give it a 3 out of 5, which is crazy. And I wonder if they had to give it a 3 out of 5 because Nintendo is like, if you want to review any of our games, you have to like pan Palworld. 1.0 has been good for them. Yes, it has. Pocket Pair is doing very well. It's been a long road for Palworld. Game launched in early access in 2024. 2.5 years since we first saw the game. Let's see. And then they talk about how you can capture people in Pokeballs and stuff like that. Whatever. I don't know. This review is very strange. They're saying the crafting part is like a lot of tedium. I mean, maybe they just don't like survival crafting games.
I thought about going back and playing it, and the idea of like playing Ark again and having to build a base was just like, can't do it.
Yeah, this review also has like tips for how to play the game. Get a Fox Sparks. It can keep your furnace going. Grass types are good at like plants. Yeah, no shit. Yeah, okay, so they're saying, then they're kind of arguing with themselves, saying that beyond simply collecting pals, you can use them in your base, so that gives them extra value. They all have like a bunch of different utilities, so it's good to collect them because the survival crafting game benefits from that. They drive now, sail. The dolphins were on a boat. Yeah, it's definitely not my thing either, Queen Anne. I just don't like survival crafting games. I like playing them with friends, but I get pretty fucking bored. Like, honestly. Adder said, same. I was 24 broke, barely breaking even each month, and bank was handing me effectively unlimited credit. They knew exactly what they were doing. Yeah, they absolutely do. They want to keep you in their pocket. That's why I don't really like credit. Minecraft has a lot of trouble holding my attention. I feel that. Yeah, same, Queen Anne. Queen Anne, you're a little older too, right? Like maybe because I feel like you're around the same age as Tony. You guys are in your 30s. So
I don't know. For my generation, Minecraft is either like 100% hit or miss. Like, I don't know.
Pineapple said, "I'm the one to host the Power World server and not play it, bro." Omni Junior, for real.
That's what I was saying. Yep.
Mid-30s, yeah. Okay, so yeah, Queen Anne, I was assuming you were closer to my age, early 40s, which obviously that's not a huge gap. But if you're thinking about games you play when you're younger, like that, Minecraft completely fucking missed me, entirely missed me.
Well, think about it. 5 years of gaming in the 90s. We went from like Super Mario World to the PS2. Like, I don't know.
I could play Minecraft for a week straight, no breaks. Yeah, I can't. I just don't.
There are times where that is true for me, and there are other times where like it doesn't really sound that fun, and I'm not that interested in it.
So, I just don't care about Minecraft. So I will say this: there are 2 survival crafting games that I played and had a lot of fun with. It's Don't Starve and Terraria. That's it. I was enamored of the audio design and the visual style for Don't Starve. It was fucking brilliant, and I still like that game and very fondly enjoy it. Like they captured the feeling through audio so well.
I feel like Terraria is a Metroidvania that you can dig, and is not a survival crafting game.
That's what I like about it.
Don't Starve is probably closer to survival crafting, but
yeah, totally. Yeah. New game, Don't Starve in Terraria. What?
No,
Pineapple. But yeah, those are both really good survival crafting games. When I was working on Return to Moria, I would tell the team that often. I was like, Don't Starve is super good, Terraria is super good. And the creative leadership team was like, we don't like either of those games. Those games suck. And I'm like, those are like fucking pillars of survival crafting games. What do you mean you don't like those games? People who play the genre like those games. Like that's crazy. Yeah, they did. The crossover was in Terraria, right, LFQ? I know that Terraria did a lot of crossover stuff with other IPs because they were supposed to make Terraria 2 and then just like kind of gave up on that. And your goo broke for Terraria, bro. What? How are you, dude? That game's like less than $5. I'm pretty sure I got Terraria for $2. What's up, Vib? How you doing? Didn't it go both ways? Yeah, I'm not sure either, LFQ.
It's $10, not on sale right now.
Hard times? Okay. Whatever you say, Pineapple. Don't Starve has a lot of crossover stuff in it, like Balatro. Yeah. Isn't there like a Jimbo or some shit you can get in fucking Don't Starve? Clay's really big on that.
Bro, fucking Balatro is in Dying Light too. It's kind of infuriating, honestly.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like, go on Jimbo's quest. I was like, no. She's like, I'm trying to play a zombie game right now.
Well, speaking of Dying Light 2, it's going to be PlayStation Plus free next month.
Yep. So if you want to experience the most AAA video game of all time, you should check it out.
I mean, Pineapple, those are all choices you're making. I assert my statement of fucking Omni Junior here. After Pull My Finger and Fireworks Controller, I'm building a bartending shaved ice bot. Bro, that's so crazy. Vash is launching an alpha? No. I agree, Queen Anne. Crossovers are very silly. Oh, I have Cthulhu's and Don't Starve together? Interesting. I don't know. That shit ain't for me. I just don't.
Prismatica's title is Reinventing Friction. That's crazy.
What do you mean, Adder? What do you mean Vash is launching an alpha?
I haven't stalked them in so long. They're not showing up in my sidebar anymore. Too bad.
Oh, man. Imagine they actually do make an MMO and like ship it and you can play it.
They're not even online right now. That's why.
I have a spare SO101 arm, and I don't know what to use it for after I built it. I have 2. One has weaker motors, and I'm gonna finally get it to work.
SO101
All right, man.
arm. Oh yeah, okay, I've seen these.
Adder says, I just heard most video game of all time and immediately thought of the most video game of all time. What, Vash Alpha?
You think they're gonna outperform Dying Light 2 for most video game of all time?
Yeah. Yeah, Queen Anne, I actually liked that crossover. I thought those the decks were pretty cool. I still struggle with Balatro though. I had a fine time getting up to like orange stakes for the decks, and then it was just too much RNG for like the jokers you could get in the shop and shit like that. Or like the boss you would get based on the deck build you had, and I was just getting really frustrated with it. So I put it down. Didn't full complete it.
I was kind of the same. I had fun with it for what I did, but I wasn't about to like go into the ultra hard RNG challenge modes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, that's I don't know. Pineapple, I appreciate the inspiration and the drive to go create something, but I think that making a bartender bot is silly. You know, spend your time however you want. It's your life, dude. I'm not, I can't in good conscience condone that. Sell the code for it and make bajillions. I mean, bro, you are very into, I'm going to have an idea and make bajillions. Your goal is to make bajillions, which is hard to do if you're making products. You should have a goal to make a product that provides something that then turns into bajillions. I know it's a weird nuance there, but I don't know. Do whatever you want to do. So I have design gripes with Balatro. I did a lot of what they didn't do for my other game I was working on. Yeah, I also have design gripes with Balatro.
We have a whole video about it, actually.
Yeah, there's actually a video up on our YouTube.
It's one of the few videos on our YouTube channel, and everybody's really mad at how Vince plays Balatro in the comments.
Oh yeah. So. It was literally my first time playing it. I played it blind. We made a video
3 days after it came out. There was no meta yet.
I said, fuck this game. This game sucks. I don't like it. And people got really, really mad in the comments about that. Yes. They were like, you're a fucking idiot. You don't know how to play it. And I was like, you watched me play it for the first time for like less than an hour, like 40 minutes. And I was comparing it to Slay the Spire. So my hot take that pissed off a lot of people was that I didn't think it was a deck builder. I got into many arguments with people about how Balatro is not a deck builder because you're building your strat around your jokers and then you do some minor modification of the deck, but the deck is the same every time. So if you compare that to like Dominion or Slay the Spire, that is a deck builder. The core mechanic is building a system that sort of mitigates the RNG. Like you're designing your card draws around probability to be like, I'm going to get this card because it has this mechanic. Now I need to find this other card that has this mechanic. And then I get the third one. And now I can like my basic gameplay mechanics are completely broken open and I can play all of the cards out of my deck for free on every turn. And that is a deck builder. You can't really do that in Balatro. It's way harder to do. So anyway, that's my hot take today about deck builders is that I don't think Balatro is actually a deck builder. I think it's deck builder adjacent. It has cards. But yeah. I'll just keep selling nerds bomb pops then. I mean, like, dude, literally live your life. I'm not trying to tell you not to. I think just being, 3 times your age, I'm just saying I see it as kind of a waste of time. What's up, Turning Cog? Imagine Vince having a hot take. Yeah. Uh-huh. I'm only hot takes, I guess. Sup dudes. There we go. I wanted to read this, Queen Anne. My biggest thing with it, the more stakes you do, the less resources you get, and then you're just left with the less and are expected to do more instead of why not give bonuses to incentivize you to play harder stakes while raising the scaling. Exactly, Queen Anne. Yes, totally agree with that. That's what I mean when I say, somewhat inarticulately that the RNG part of the higher stakes is what made me lose interest in the game. Because like if you're trying to play a certain deck like the checkered deck and you need to get obviously like flushes are a lot more important in that deck, and you don't get the right jokers, or you get the wrong boss, which means that you can't play like any of your spades or hearts, and you're just suddenly fucked. I can't remember, is it spades and hearts or clubs and hearts? Either way, or like clubs and diamonds, one of the two. It's red and black, but it's missing 2 of the suits. Wrong boss ending a run is too common for me. Exactly. Yes. That's what made me stop playing it, Queen Anne. I was just like this, and I should clarify, guys. I have put a lot of time into it. Let me look. I want to say like 150 hours or something like that in Balatro. I gotta go find this on my list. Where do I see the fucking time played? Oh, I put 322 hours into Balatro. So I'm not saying don't buy the game. I'm saying buy the game. It's fine. You'll have a lot of fun with it. But at the higher end of the game, when you're trying to 100% it, it gets very dependent on random chance.
Yeah, I was actually like pretty against even trying it for a long time, and then I tried it and actually really liked it.
Pineapple, you're extremely Gen Z, dude. You went to go to the beach and said, "Oh shit, there's a hurricane. It's too dangerous." Anyway, I'm back with sound now. And then you stayed here for all of fucking 10 minutes, and then you go, "I'm gonna try to go surf." My most played game on Steam has 90 hours. Yeah, I mean, I understand. You're making robots that shave ice.
He's got 3 times more life hours than you, man. We already talked about this.
Yeah, I have 3 times more life hours than you. Yeah. My highest played hours on Steam are in the thousands for sure. I think I have like 6 games that are like over 1,000 hours.
Mine is still Warframe.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, didn't you post a Warframe thing? Let's talk about that, Tony.
Yeah, what did it say? Warframe is currently in a massive growth following the end of Destiny 2. Yeah.
Yep. That makes sense.
There you go.
Okay. Studio president Sheldon Carter's made this statement. After Destiny was put on life support, Warframe is currently on its lonesome in a genre teeming with fans looking for new content. Digital Extreme's employees have expressed upset. That's weird. We're sad our competitor is no longer going to compete with us. Is a strange take as a business. I understand in this industry you have to have certain you have to communicate in a certain way, otherwise people get mad at you and then they try to cancel you until you can't do the thing. But like, I mean, this is good for Digital Extremes. Like, so what I don't like about this is it's like passive aggressive speech. So they're like, "Oh yeah, we're really sad about this. Also, we're doing really well." Like, what? No, you're not sad about it. Like your sadness is probably like 10% of your actual feeling. But you're like, "Holy shit, boys, we're on top. We're in a fucking boom time." That is a great time to be where they are and who they are. So I don't know. I find it disingenuous that they're not celebrating a little more.
I mean, they do have to recognize that like people are probably interested in Warframe because they're interested in Destiny. I would imagine it doesn't go the other way too often. It probably mainly goes like people find a big game like Destiny and then they finish it and they're like, "Well, I want more of that. What do I play?" And people say, "Go play Warframe." So
yeah, Queen Anne. No, yeah, Queen Anne, you're right. It's being sportsmanlike. Yeah, totally. Yeah. They're trying to be nice about it while being like, "Hey guys, now's a great time to play Warframe." And they're like, at our studio, it was kind of a bit of mourning when they released the news of Destiny ending. The mood in our studio was pretty dour because of all the connections you end up having. I can tell you, after working on Destiny, there was no like, "Oh, we're friends with all the people at Digital Extremes." No, you're fucking not. Like, you're direct competition.
Speaking from experience, you guys talked a lot of shit.
Yes.
So, like,
there was a lot of shit talk. It's like, we are the kings of this genre. This is our shit. They're trying to copy us and bite our style.
You definitely considered Warframe below you, I remember.
Oh, so, yeah. Yep. But that's not because I was like, I'm a Bungie guy and I'm superior. I just don't like Warframe. Yep. It's not for me. Adder says, I mean this respectfully. Burnt pineapple is the quintessential example of why Microsoft has shifted their business to 3-month quantity over quality products. Yes, exactly.
Yep.
Okay, but for real now, getting big waves. See you guys tomorrow. It's like literally not even been an hour. It's been like 25, 30 minutes. Imagining, like, are you imagining? He's not even here anymore. Is he thinking the fucking waves have changed in like 20, 30 minutes? That's crazy. 1,959 hours in PoE, 37 of them being since Friday. Fuck yeah, LFQ the gamer. Get in there, brother. Gamer. Get in there. My third most played has 10 times that. What's your fucking most played shit, Turning Cog? Have we talked about this? I feel like maybe we did.
His has got to be probably Fallout 4, based on what I know, but I don't know.
Oh no, Turning Cog is a Fallout fan. Oh god.
Well, no, he was a modder, so I bet you his hours are like super high from that. But then I'm sure Zomboid is probably up there too for him. There's also Zomboid news. I don't know if you saw that.
I'm just fucking around. I'm a Fallout hater. Oh, look, Pineapple's back again. I mean, every 10 minutes it rains for 3 minutes. Hawaii is weird. Bro, you are weird. WoW doesn't count. That's an obvious. Yeah, my WoW is like over 3,000 hours easily. I mean, my Destiny total playtime from D1 and D2 was like 2,800 hours or something like that.
Destiny 2 would be the top game on here, and nothing would even come close to it if it was on Steam when I actually played it. But
yeah,
it wasn't, and so it doesn't even crack like the top 50. But
yeah, I don't know if my Blizzard launcher hours are, included in that. Yeah, it's the time wasted on Destiny is the website I think you could go look at to like see where you were, but I don't know. It's been a long time since I looked at that. Easily, I purposely don't check my WoW played. Yeah, I did, I mean, I had fucking 3 accounts at one point, all active at the same time. I was multi-boxing, I was playing on multiple servers. Like, I was very into WoW for probably about 6 or 7 years. I'm a modder for Beyond, and I have 20 minutes on the game. I mean, yeah. I would say you'd probably be a better modder if you put more time into the game. But you also have made one of the most successful mods for it. So
yeah, I guess we can't criticize, but that's interesting.
But I have thoughts. Is your successful mod popular because of your understanding of the game, or is it popular because you decided to emulate something else and put those other things into this other game, which is still a successful way to go about it? It's just not it's not like the craft, of making video games. It's not high art, dude. That's what I'm trying to say. The game has 3 active players on Steam. It fell off so fast. I also now get plain editor access. We will see. I just made a movie theater. Okay. Word. I mean, live your life, Pineapple. Did you read Adder's comment? You're the quintessential example of why Microsoft has shifted their business to 3-month quantity over quality products.
Congratulations.
Yeah, bro, you've come in and out of chat, at least telling us you're going to step away. What are we on? 3 times? 4 times in the last? It hasn't even been a full hour yet since we went live. You didn't understand it. Okay. Your super short attention span is harming you. I think that's what he's trying to say. So like, you're engaging with all of the stuff. By the way, Pineapple, this is not your fault, dude. It's 100% not your fault. You're just not old enough to know better. Like, that's it. And there are armies of people who do know better and are exploiting your behavior. That's the thing. It's literally not your fault. I'm just trying to be internet dad, I guess, and be like, be careful, bro. They're exploiting you. You're being exploited right now. Yeah, Adder, I thought you were totally respectful. And by the way, Pineapple, none of us are trying to hurt your feelings. I promise. It might seem like we are. We're just old. We're old, and we're like, hey, man, we've been where you're at. We've made mistakes, and that's the the wisdom of experience, and it's always lost on the youth. I was a youth. We were all youths at one point. We've all been there, and we all went, these guys don't know shit. And then you like 5-10 years pass, and you're like, oh man, Uncle's kind of spitting. Like, I fucked up. That's the human experience. And like, as an older person, you're always going to try to tell the youth to not make the same mistakes you make, and they will always make the same mistakes you made. It goes that way. And then when you get old, Pineapple, you'll be talking to some youths saying the same shit.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly, Turning Cog. And I feel like Pineapple's pretty resilient. I don't think we actually hurt his feelings, but I just wanted to be careful and make sure that, Pineapple, we are not trying to hurt your feelings. We like you. We appreciate your company. You're very enthusiastic and passionate. You're always getting into something, interesting and new, and you dive in with like wonder, and you're very excited about stuff. That's very good. Don't get rid of that. I think we're just trying to be like, if you really want to do this thing, here's how you do it. I think that's what everyone's trying to say. What's this level, Tony, says Vib. This is a thing for Dread. Tony's building a
we need weenies for the neighborhood.
Yeah, it's like a point of interest, a weenie, as it is referred to by Disney. I guess they don't call it that anymore. They call them like hero installations or something. I can't remember what the fuck they call them. But OG Disney called them shits weenies, boys and girls.
Girls weren't allowed when they called them weenies.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I want to read more about this Warframe thing. Carter explained that at the start of development for Soulframe, came as what they believed Warframe had hit its peak. However, every time something bad happened for Destiny, such as a poor update or expansion, it resulted in growth for Warframe. And the end of Destiny 2 is resulting in even more players jumping on board. Dude, there are so many typos in this article. This is crazy. We changed our focus on how we were developing the game, how we were promoting the game. And now we've had a few years of straight, just massive growth. Now we're in this happy position where Warframe's really thriving, and it gives us the ability to give Soulframe a ton of rope and time. What a fucking weird quote. We're giving Soulframe a ton of rope and time to really try stuff out and connect. That's a strange analogy, bro.
Isn't the analogy there a ton of rope to hang yourself
with? Yes.
Weird.
Also for the
I think they kind of meant like letting the leash out, probably, but like,
yeah,
it kind of made it sound like they're just gonna kill themselves.
Yeah, it was a minced metaphor if I've ever read one. It was very strange. Pineapple's defending his desire to work on Bartender Bot by saying, also, because of all the tech that I have, the only thing I need to buy for accurate measurements is just a $6 weight sensor instead of $80 of parts without the $300 arm. Yeah, man, it's totally cool. Do your thing. Queen Anne goes, right. Teach them the ropes? No, that's not what they're going for, Vib. They're using an English idiom. But yeah, like Tony said, the colloquialism is give them enough rope to hang themselves, which means like you're not giving them oversight or direction. You're just letting them run in a direction that they want to. And
if they mess up,
they will only make mistakes, and they will ruin their own opportunity. That was the weird thing in what he said, because he's describing his own product, saying like, we're trying to give it a bunch of rope. Like, dog, you don't want to say it that way, because you're implying your shit is gonna just fucking tank and be really bad. While Warframe is currently bigger than ever, especially now, Carter explained that the team is still working hard on Soulframe. Currently in private testing, Carter says Digital Extremes is relearning aspects of early development that have been forgotten so many years into Warframe. Oh man, they forgot how to make it. We don't know how to make Warframe anymore.
We can't make it anymore. Yeah. We literally forgot how.
Yeah, exactly. Jesus, man. What are we fucking doing? Robot Arm or GTA 6? Tough one. Never cared for GTA. Arm spinning vodka is cooler. All right, I'm with you on that, Pineapple. You won me over with that one. Obviously, I'm not drinking. Okay, good. Thank you for that. Yes. You know, for obvious reasons, we can't condone that. Obey the laws, you know, listen to your parents, be a good kid. You are. I'm not saying you're not. I get zero bad vibes from you as like a youth. I think you are a good kid. So for real. I don't think anyone's trying to say that. We're trying to, you know, we're adults, we care, and we're trying to help you, you know, not make the mistakes we made. That's really what it all comes down to.
Yeah, bro, make no mistakes. We're just trying to tell you that, like Claude.
Yeah, create arm spinning vodka. Make no mistakes, dude. I know, that's why I had to add the shaved ice part so that I can use it. Yeah, bro. No, you can make mocktails with it. Like, you can make non-alcoholic drinks with it. There's nothing wrong with that. There's much cooler stuff than Shirley Temples too. Like, you can make some really tasty drinks. I think the danger is like when you're young and you get into that, like bartending is like a craft, you'll eventually just lean into alcohol, which just like it's a gateway, you know. That's the danger. So just that's the thing. Bet. Oh man. Ironically, it could maybe be argued that Railgun is in the same DNA as Warframe.
Yep.
Potentially.
Like in minor ways, for sure.
In some ways, yeah, for sure. I mean, third-person action shooter, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, fair, says Turning Cog. Tony, I don't want to make a Warframe clone. Yeah, we're not making a Warframe clone. Don't worry. Can't believe they didn't try that. I liked that. Yeah. Make no mistakes. Okay, so right now there's no release date for that's been the journey of Soulframe, relearning a few of the things that we forgot after so many years, but at the same time using that core audience, which is just establishing communication, building trust with the audience, and taking our time to get to the point where we feel like there's enough content, enough story, enough gameplay that when we release it to a wider audience, it's going to have its core. Is literally in his quote. Right now, there's no release date for Soulframe, but Warframe is still available as free-to-play experience on pretty much everything. Free-to-play is smart. Like, that was such a good decision.
Technically free-to-play, and you just have to like get invited or something too.
Yeah, they were saying it's in a closed focus group of testing and stuff like that. Let's see what else I got in here. Talked about the dying light thing. Oh, since we're talking about platforms making mistakes, you guys may or may not be aware that there was a moment where Microsoft pushed a patch to the Xbox that de-authenticated everyone's digital content, including stuff that they had paid for like over 10 years ago. So that meant while this outage occurred and being on the wrong software version, you couldn't really use your Xbox. It seems like it only lasted a day or two, so it wasn't that crazy of a misstep, but it just really highlighted how big of a problem this, you know, streaming only content future could be.
It was like under a week after the same thing happened to Sony.
Yep.
Where you couldn't play your digital PlayStation stuff because of an update that they had pushed. And I don't know. It's kind of ironic and funny that it's happening right.
Yeah.
After these announcements kind of show everybody
like,
what the future is going to be like. So.
Xbox acknowledged early on Monday that it was suffering a major outage status in a number of its services. So this is like yesterday. Like 2 days ago. Preventing players from being able to sign in, view their library, or launch some games and apps. I like how they say some games or apps. I think the safer way to say that is the majority of games and apps, because even if you had like a disc in the Xbox, if you had gotten the patch and it de-authenticated you from online services, and you tried to play a disc game that needed to connect to an online service for one reason or another, it wouldn't work. So the majority of shit was just not playable on the Xbox for 13 hours. Oh, wait. The outages continued for a large part of the day, with 13 hours between Xbox's tweet acknowledging the issue. It had been going on for some time before this, and its tweet stating that it had been resolved. Okay, so there was a 13-hour gap between saying there was an issue and then the fix. There's a lengthy post. Okay, so earlier today, many players began experiencing issues with sign-in, enumerating their game libraries, and playing games. The team has worked hard throughout the day to fix the issue, and we've restored service as of 2:30 p.m. PDT. Nonetheless, this is an unacceptable situation. We must do better to support you. Hey, at least he said that. Over the coming weeks, you'll hear more from me about our services, our platforms, and the work we're doing to make Xbox better. Let's start with some transparency about this incident. Our on-call teams caught the first signals overnight through automated monitoring and declared a major incident. Once we isolated the failing infrastructure, we shifted traffic onto the healthy parts of the system while the team continued to work towards a root cause. Service came back unevenly across regions, which is why some of you recovered hours before others. So it seems like they had an authentication server outage for like logging into Xbox Live and validating your account and your purchases. We're running a full post-incident review. I care less about the online root, the one-line root cause, and more about the real questions: why a failure in one service was able to take down this much, why recovery took as long as it did. Oh man, some people are getting fired. That's what that means. That means hardening dependencies. Okay, I mean, at least improving infrastructure is a good idea. I'm assuming this was a process failure. Someone did some shit they shouldn't have done, and then they didn't tell people, and people didn't realize that it was broken because they assumed it was just going to keep working.
It happened on a Friday too.
Yeah, but they have on-call. They have like 24/7.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, people are lazy on Fridays. You don't push patches on Fridays.
Yeah, that's true.
There's like just like weird psychological reasons why like people are just like not in their A game on certain days of the week. You want to not do big things on those days.
Xbox's outage followed similar issues on the PlayStation Network last week, which went down just hours after the opening beta for Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls went live. Outage led to the service being unavailable for several hours, leaving players unable to access PSN on a PS5. Yeah.
Oh, Adder's even saying they couldn't cook or launch on the Xbox platform for their game, so it's even affecting devs.
Yeah, so it was a major infrastructure problem. And like I was saying, I would bet that there was a process that was just completely stupid. And there was probably bureaucracy in the way that made the alert take so long. So like communications breakdowns, that's the downside of having such a massive business, is that there's literally tens of thousands of people working on this shit all at the same time. And everyone's like, wait, what happened over there? I don't understand what this is. And like, just people, you know, you can't be like, hey, Tony, this shit broke. And Tony's like, oh, fuck, I'm the expert on that. I need to fix that, you know? Like,
or you see the alert and you're just like, I assume somebody knows about that. It's not my problem.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, maybe you were literally the only person who noticed.
Yep. That's not my department type shit.
Something Vince is really good at is like not ever assuming that stuff, which is very helpful at times.
Yeah, I ask, you know, questions.
You're just like, hey, this looks weird. Like,
it feels
and I'm
bad.
like, that's normal. And it's like, well, I'm kind of glad you asked though. So
yeah, but it feels bad. I'm not like trying to, you know, point out problems like that. That's what I don't like to do, is like just point out problems without like a solution or anything, or like, you know, appear to just complain about shit. I don't like that. Pineapple says, in the software I have an inventory system, so it knows how much is left in a bottle based on how much the selected drink used. Hey, thank you, Kenzo. Thanks for the follow. And a bunch of drinks on the list based off your inventory also. So stuff like Shirley Temple could just make Sprite or drink straight grenadine. Don't drink straight grenadine. That sounds gross, dude. Yeah, Adder was saying the outage fucked us, blocked everything, including dev tools, delaying a branch for 48 hours. We couldn't cook or launch for Xbox platform. They didn't shift shit. Auth servers were totally borked until last night. Even if you got in, you were kicked back out. Started Friday, Saturday, Sunday was unstable, and we expected a full outage on Monday, which ended up being the case. Dev tools were up yesterday morning, but were in and out till the evening. Total fuck up on their side. On-call bros legit sleeping on the job. Yeah. There's probably too many of them. And I bet one guy was like, dude, fuck you, bro. Like, you don't pay me enough. I'm just not going to pick up my phone. And yeah, I've worked in those types of environments before. It's rough.
And it might have been across departments. You got to get like people to sign off on shit, and
Guarantee
can't get a hold of like the one guy you need. And
and there's a middle manager that doesn't want to let this go wider because then their boss will get mad at them and be like, why don't you fucking resolve this? Like
you guys have ever worked in corporate, like this shit's textbook.
Yep. They don't want to share information because someone has to be held accountable for it. And so they're all going to try to cover it up and hide and pretend that it wasn't their
department. As soon as you acknowledge it, you're responsible for it. So you try really hard not to even know about shit. Like, yeah, it's a whole thing.
Bro, I wouldn't be surprised at her if they cut a director for this. Like this fuck up is so big that I guarantee that there's like high level people who are supposed to be in charge of this that are getting their asses chewed, and they're going to chew someone else's ass. So there's probably going to be people fired up and down the whole thing.
They had like 6 days where like they looked better than Sony on this whole like physical media thing, and then now they're like level playing field again because of it. It's kind of sad.
What's up, Illuminous? Let's start a Kickstarter to buy Halo from Microsoft. They won't sell it, dude.
I think they're convinced it's their only remaining golden goose. So
yeah, and they are I don't know what the fuck they're doing to, but they've fucked it up bad. Which, we can talk about the Halo campaign Evolved. Because my Twitter is connected to, a lot of Bungie people and Halo people. There's a lot of very crazy conversations going on the internet this week about Halo campaign Evolved. They took some wild creative liberties with it, and a lot of the people who worked on those games are pointing out rightfully on Twitter that Halo Studios fundamentally misunderstood the game and like fucked their work up. And I guess if anything, Queen Anne, this is a good point, because you and Analyrith taught me about like the concept of death of the author and all of that. Where does this fall in that space, right? Because these guys haven't worked on Halo for like 15 years, but they're like, hey, you guys fucked this up. Like, how do you not understand what this is? Like, should they even be commenting? Like that's where I think it's weird. I feel like they have a right to be like, I built this way for a reason, and you guys just don't fucking get it. The particle effects are great. The colors are very interesting. I do like this visually, Tony, but it's really, really noisy and very hard to tell what's going on. The explosions are cool.
I do. I want to play it and like understand if it, is too busy or something, because I think it's a little hard to tell, but I don't know. Visuals are the one thing that I think they seem like they did a really good job on. I don't know, like there's definitely probably some conversation to be had around like, does this look like Halo? Should it look like this? I've seen a lot of that discussion. I'm not really getting into that necessarily. I just think like from a visual competency and like nice rendering perspective, like it looks good. It's UE5.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I think the best way to say I think what I feel about Campaign Evolved is that they really just are doing too much. They should.
What they've done with like the cutscenes and the voice acting and stuff is insane to me. Like, I don't know. It seems like it's such an easy slam dunk in some ways, and they just like did like really obviously terrible things with some of it. I don't know.
Yeah, thank you, Adder. That was my feeling. He said visually looks pretty dope. Particle explosions are way too much, but the right idea, I think. Also, what the fuck happened to their auto exposure? Amateur hour. Yeah. This is Halo, Queen Anne. So what I was saying was I wanted to know your take on this because you and Analyrith taught me about the whole concept of death of the author and all that. Yeah, so this is the Halo campaign Evolved, made by Halo Studio. So some people have said it's 343. It's not. 343 doesn't exist anymore. They're called Halo Studio. It is the Microsoft product. They basically took Halo CE and remade it in Unreal and released it. It came out this week. So What I was seeing was a lot of the people who worked on the Halo games 15 years ago talking about how badly Halo Studio understood the work and what the game is that they made, and criticizing game design decisions and like voice actor delivery and changing of some characters and a bunch of other shit like that. So again, this has become an inflection point for culture war nonsense, and people are arguing on both sides of it about woke, not woke, Halo, whatever, right? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a fundamental misunderstanding of what Halo is, why people like it, and who plays it. That's the thing that I'm trying to say. So that's why I'm curious about your concept of death of the author here. Should the Halo guys, the OG Bungie Halo guys, should they shut the fuck up, or should they speak out because the art that they made is being like bastardized and highly corporatized and like sold again by someone who retains the rights to it? Is this like George Lucas after he sold to Disney getting mad about what they did to Star Wars? What do you think? Okay. Looks like a rave. Tony likes it. Yeah, true. This seems like the C team was contracted to remaster, and the director was fired right after the kickoff meeting. Yeah, I mean, Adder, unfortunately, it's way worse than that. There were OG Halo guys that founded 343. They tried to be stewards of the IP, and that turned into Halo Studio. And basically nobody who cares about Halo, who built the original Halo and is trying to be a steward of the IP, works on this game anymore. This is all brand new people. They did like a PR, meet the team at Halo Studio type of a thing. And they're like, look, this is the founding of Halo Studio. We're cooking. And in that, they had an art director say, I really don't like that we make a game that's super violent. I want to, lean into the other ways of this vibrant, rich world that has nothing to do with shooting and guns and violence. And I'm like, that's the game. The game is shooting, guns, and violence. That is the game. What the fuck are we talking about? So I'm just catching you guys up on that. Yeah, people are really mad about the button prompts being on screen next to the HUD elements all the time. Yep. Yeah, UI got fucked up, and they did the modern convention stuff where it's very handholdy. I saw one where there's a room with 3 invisible elites in it, and when you walk into the room, they get red triangle waypoint markers over their heads.
Yeah, where you are supposed to get ambushed by the invisible guys.
They're invisible. They all get waypointed. Yep.
Fucking insane.
It does look pretty, I have to say. Like, Halo CE did not have good graphics. For the time, it was okay, but it wasn't like a visual masterpiece. The reason why people loved Halo CE was the gameplay and the story, and it was just so well wrought. It like brought you into this fucking like Master Chief was, Joe Staten very famously was describing Master Chief not as being a human by intentionally not overdeveloping the character so that it was easier for every player to become the Master Chief and say, that's me, I'm Master Chief. And then by contrast, you have a writer talking about Master Chief in, working at Halo Studio. And this person says, Master Chief is a person. He has feelings. He's got like blah. And I'm like, you don't fucking understand what Master Chief is. Like you've completely missed the point of what Master Chief is.
Here's a screenshot of the waypoint thing he's talking about.
Yep. Those are all invisible elites that are meant to ambush you, and they are all waypointed in Halo CE.
In the original game, it was designed for you to just die, and then you would know that it was happening, and then you could try it again and react to it better. And I don't know, I guess I didn't like that.
It's because the Bungie designers respected the audience. They understood that you could learn, and that's the fun of a game. You're going to make mistakes and learn and get better.
I did see this one. I was showing this to Vince yesterday. They shipped the game with some early like gray box levels still in the files, and somebody like unlocked the console and was like doing some data mining and found these, and they were able to like actually get into them. But I just thought this was really cool because this is very obviously like default Unreal Engine text, default Unreal Engine blockout materials, and like orbs with emissives on them. And you could just kind of tell like how they've started laying these levels out real early. I think this is probably the library. Oh yeah, great library right there. And then they found their debug menu. Again, this is very like out of the box Unreal UI elements that haven't been customized or anything is kind of cool. You can see they had all of these movement options in the game at one point, and there's other gray boxes that they could have gone to and stuff. I don't know. I just thought that was pretty cool. Little game dev behind the scenes.
I was reading some of Adder's messages, and I can tell that Adder had a rough weekend. Bro is like salty today. It's great. Looking at this video, that'd be the last thing I'd comment on. I think the OG guys don't have a foot to stand on with their opinions at this point, but anyone is entitled to their opinion. Of course, Microsoft is flying the plane into hell. They've already hit the ground and kept going. Maybe we'll come out the other side with Doom X Halo. Oh man, this is so funny. Halo C was a. Are you talking about Master Chief Collection, Adder? For Halo C? Because that was Halo C. That's Campaign Evolved. It just came out. LFQ says Invisible Guys getting waypoints is nuts, bruh. Yeah, exactly. Turning Cog asks a great question. Can we get a skin of the TV show Master Chief without his helmet? Yes, that really.
I'm honestly surprised they didn't just already put that in there.
Yeah, 100%. Because they just do not understand.
Seems perfectly in line with how they're operating here. Yeah.
Master Chief Collection CE, yeah. Yes, it was a reskin with some tech updates. Yep, and that was. So that's another part of the discourse online is that people are saying Master Chief Collection is actually goated compared to CE, and that's sad. That's really sad. Also, don't forget we already got a remaster of Halo CE in Master Chief Collection, and they just did it again.
I've seen that discussion. A lot of people are like, "I'm not going to play this remake slop. I'm going to go play the originals," and they go play the Master Chief Collection.
Yep. Queen Anne says, that's an interesting question. I think Death of the Author may not apply here. The OG Halo guys weren't allowed in the room. I think if someone took a novel and wrote their own version of it disconnected from the original author, then that author gets to complain. I mean, I think, just my take is that people can complain regardless. Like people are going to. You're not ever going to be able to stop people from complaining. I think like shame is a weapon is interesting because it works on some people, but it doesn't on others. If you just do what you want to do, then you're immune to that completely. If you care about what other people think, then obviously it's going to be very bothersome to you and you'll want to change, and you might have a very fluid opinion, and the things you say may not actually be what you mean, but you're just pandering to stop people from being mad at you about it. So, and I don't mean you specifically, Queen Anne. I mean like the one, as a human being might feel that way.
The royal you.
Yeah, the royal you. They remade it again because they were meant to have released the new Halo already, which was canceled, and they panic remade CE again. Yeah, Adder, my understanding is that Halo Studio has spun up and canceled. Yo, Prismatica, thank you for the raid. We were just talking about you.
We were. I liked your stream title. I thought it was interesting.
Like literally no bullshit. Tony, what did you say the stream title was?
It was like reinventing friction or something that. Yeah, no, I thought that was interesting.
Bro, yo, what's up, guys? Thank you. Welcome. Yeah, Tony literally said that at like the top of the stream. He was checking you out. So that's awesome. Thank you for coming through. Queen Anne says, yep, maybe their opinion shouldn't be elevated, so the death of the author might count here. Yeah, and I mean, like, what I think is kind of problematic for the whole thing is that people are just having a conversation on the internet about shit that like doesn't fucking matter. Like the reality is if you don't like Halo CE, don't fucking play it. Like what are we doing otherwise? It's just an argument on the internet with strangers that doesn't matter. Like it's crazy. So Tony's working on some Dread stuff. Typically, so our current format, Prismatica, I think you haven't been around for a little bit, but the thing that is like hitting really well for our audience is I usually read through game industry news, talk about like what's happening in the world, whatever. It's a little bit of me just chatting. But Tony's working on Unreal stuff in the background. So that's what we do for our stream now. And people seem to really like it. We get the same consistent group coming back. We get new follows, new people coming in. So yeah, it's our whole thing. And for y'all Raiders, if Prismatica didn't give you yeah, exactly. Yes, dude. Very Gen Z accessible. We're like doing a live TikTok, if that makes sense. That's like brain rot with like Minecraft parkour while I like talk about the state of the industry. So yeah,
I'm the Subway Surfers and he's the Family Guy.
Yeah. I'm the family guy.
I'm the family guy.
Genius. Thank you, Amethyst. Yeah, it's I don't know, it works. We just saw people enjoying it, so like we do it. And I think one of the things we learned about Twitch is that if someone can interact with chat at all times, like chat, you guys fucking love that. So like that was a big part of the problem. For the first year or so, it was just kind of us like doing our own things, sort of interacting with chat. We tried a bunch of different, styles and segments and formats and all of that. This is the one that has stuck really well. It's admittedly easier for us to do. Just do a little bit of research on Tuesday, grab some articles about video game news, check some Twitter and stuff like that, and then I'm ready to go. And I can just talk about shit, all day Wednesday and Thursday. We also only stream for 4 hours. We are a game studio, Fractal Grove. Tony and I are the co-founders. We have a broader team of about 6 people working on this game, Dread. It's a psychological horror walking sim. Think like there's an indie game on Steam called Vardio that's pixel art. It's a very short experience, only about 20 minutes. But that was kind of one of the main inspirations here. But we also really like liminal space stuff. So, I came up with the concept for this game based on The King in Yellow. So we're leaning into psychological horror, liminal space horror, The King in Yellow, all of that stuff. So I think our game's probably going to be about 2 hours or a little over 2 hours when we finish it. We're probably somewhere around halfway through. We're over the hump of like knowing what we need to build. So we're just kind of like finishing out content. What you're seeing now is the first level. This is the neighborhood. It uses a Legend of Zelda Lost Woods mechanic. So every time Tony comes up to an intersection, one path is correct, and the other 2 will teleport you back to the beginning where you started in a seamless way. So this is play and editor, so there are hitches, but when it's a compiled build, it's very smooth, and you have no idea that you've teleported back to where you started. So yeah, think Legend of Zelda Lost Woods. You're chasing Skull Kid around.
And it's not even teleport anymore. We've got it now where you're just rendering a new copy of the neighborhood at the end of any of these given like stubs, and then you're just walking into that, and that becomes where you are, and it can technically go on forever. I have this drone cam for easy debugging and stuff, making sure stuff is looking good. But yeah, this is all procedurally generated and seeded and created at runtime, and yeah.
Yep. It's very cool tech. So our original scope was, I guess Vib. Yeah, it's kind of like a treadmill. But there's a lot of like novel technology that Tony has built for this game that carries that theme of being lost in a like procedurally generated space that is, transparent to the player. They don't know how the tech works. It's just, it manifests as like being lost in a liminal space.
So I'm just going to put my like hold down the W key thing here, and I'll walk in a straight line forever. You'll see me just start passing by the same houses over and over. It's going to take a little bit, but while we talk, I'll just let that run.
Prismatica says, either get super distracted by chat or completely ignore them and never in between. That's the hardest part of streaming. That's why a duo works really well for us. And we've talked about it on stream a bunch. It's very hard to actually make stuff and make progress on your game when you're live streaming it. That's another reason we only do it for 4 hours a week. So we got about a half hour left today, and then tomorrow we stream from 2 to 4 Mountain Time for both. Let me drop some links for you guys.
I'm gonna go get some water while you do that. Over here.
Yeah, you're cool. Our community is super supportive. Basically, everyone in the Discord is making stuff. There are people that follow me from my time working on Destiny 2 as a designer. So there are some people in there, but they're really quiet. They just kind of like to watch and see what we're up to. And, people like to keep tabs on me because I made some stuff in Destiny 2 that is very beloved and people love it. So 2-hour streams are starting to tempt me for my own streams. Yes, it's a great model, Queen Anne. The thing is that's really important. Yeah, LFQ, you make people happy and you're super supportive and positive and you're very nice and well-mannered. So that's what LFQ does. LFQ is just a super awesome person. Yeah, Queen Anne, the most important thing here, if you want to start doing a live stream, you should, and you should do it for marketing purposes and like building your audience up. Make sure that you pick a time that you want to commit to. You never deviate from that time. and make sure that it's like same day, same time, and you just never change from that. If you want to be a professional streamer, which we don't, and we're not, it may seem like we've got a cool setup here, but that's all Tony. Tony's really good at building things that are awesome. And so like we're in two physically different locations. I'm at my house, Tony's at his house. We live in different parts of Colorado. Our, multimedia streams go to a streaming coding machine, and from that it gets pushed out to Twitch and YouTube at the same time. Oh, let me drop links for you guys too. So we use the live streaming thing in social media to fund the studio, and that's like we're self-funded. It's from subs and donations, and any revenue we get from a stream, all that goes into running Fractal Grove. And so that pays for like, web server hosting and software licenses and all kinds of shit like that. So because of you awesome people, we're able to just keep going. It's very cool. And it's been working for us. We can't pay ourselves. We can't pay anyone else, but we can pay our operations costs, which is better than it just being a net negative. Footlong Icicle, yo, thank you for the follow. Also Amethyst, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate you guys. So Discord is a great way to keep in touch with us because we only stream for 4 hours a week. There's, decently active creator community in there, and people are making games. They're making, Pineapple makes robots and all kinds of other shit. There's a lot of technology talk, AI talk, like how to use it and what to do with that. So if you guys are interested, that's a great place to go. I'll drop the link again for some of you who may not have seen it before. And then, to support us, donations and subs are not necessary at all. We appreciate it a ton. It goes a very long way for us. But if you guys help us just grow the social channels, that means a lot. We were talking last year a lot about needing more watch hours on YouTube to monetize that because we have the subs, but we clicked over to another calendar year. So we needed probably about 1,000 watch hours last year to get there. Now we're back down to like 400 watch hours. So we need like 3,000 watch hours, which sucks. So that's a lot. It's a lot to ask of you guys. But if you can help out at all, it's huge, and it goes a long way.
Once this game's ready, we're gonna start making a lot of content.
Yep.
Hopefully that'll help. So
yeah, we also in the first couple of years, so we're going into, I think we're in year 4 now. We just started year 4. But the of streaming. The first 2 years we were spending some time on social media and like doing edits for YouTube videos and stuff like that. And they would do some numbers. But it takes so much time. Like if Tony makes a fucking YouTube video, that's like a week of just making a video. The real Golden Kappa? Holy shit. Is that actually a real Golden Kappa? No fucking way.
It's a flex.
So there's like supposedly a chance for every Kappa typed in Twitch chat to become a Golden Kappa. So it might actually be a real Golden Kappa.
Really?
That's yes.
Crazy. Huh.
I mean, that's the rumor. I don't know if that's fucking real or not, but that's always like the joke on Twitch. It might be a Golden Kappa. Oh, LFQ says it's easy to get nowadays. Okay. All right, gamer. LFQ's out here hitting Golden Kappas every day, I guess. Sorry, bro. We can't keep up with you. You're too hardcore. Dread Stranding, but in a good way. Oh, nice. Which part was Dread Stranding at her that you were liking? Was it the drone flyover and stuff? Yeah, I moused over and it said Kappa too. I think it really is a Golden Kappa. Oh shit. He did it again. Or she. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. You identify as Footlong Icicle, and I'm cool with that. Whatever you prefer. But yeah, Queen Anne. Schedule's the most important thing. Don't make the stream your priority. But it will help a ton. Hype Train has a chance to become a Golden Kappa train, and everyone who joins the Hype Train gets 24 hours of Golden Kappa. Oh, that's crazy. You do identify as a Footlong Icicle? Fuck yeah, dude. That's the best. So yeah, this is Dread. This is the game we've been working on. We have other games that we've been working on. We've been working on Dread since October of last year. it initially started as like a yo Gigantify, let's go, that's crazy. You keep distracting me, Icicle. But yeah, so the original idea for the game was much smaller in scope, much shorter. We were going for like 20 to 40 minutes of gameplay. It's probably going to be closer to 2 hours now, if not more than. Like I said, the novel tech that Tony made to hit some of these moments is very interesting, and that definitely increased scope, but it's okay. We have these very distinct, unique experiences. There's sort of 4 maze levels and then a 5th capstone experience level that is like the culmination of the whole story and gives you like, some very cool visuals and wraps up all the things that you've done and seen and all that. So that's what we're looking for. Yeah. Queen Anne is pogging at the giant golden kappa. Nice. Good work, Footlong Icicle. Out here just flexing on everybody. Okay, so we were talking about Halo Campaign Evolved because that just came out and there was a lot of criticism there when we got rated. Just discussing that, online and all that. Because for me, like my LinkedIn is full of Bungie people that worked on Halo. My Twitter is full of those people as well. I've worked with a bunch of people who worked on Halo and Bungie Halo, not yeah, I did also work with 343 Halo people, but that was at Bungie after the fact. So whatever. The conversation I think is just it's very strange because people are very much in their feelings about Halo for obvious reasons. And getting another remaster of Halo CE was a little strange when Master Chief Collection already exists. So I think that's probably why. And a lot of people are arguing with each other on the internet about if Halo Campaign Evolved is good or if it's bad, and how the people currently being stewards of the IP understand it at all. I think it's fair to say Halo Studios doesn't, especially if you've seen the Paramount show. Is it Paramount or Peacock? Whatever. The live action Halo show where Master Chief takes his helmet off and has a bunch of lines of dialogue and all this shit in the first episode is it's crazy. So there was a reason Master Chief never had his helmet on. You never saw his face in the source material in the original Halo. And that reason was because it was easier for a player to connect to that character and feel as if they are the Master Chief. So I think that's probably where the discourse has opened up, is like, how have they done this to my beloved Halo? And some fans are understandably mad. And then of course the OG Halo heads have, come out of the woodwork and everyone's chiming in on the conversation. So that's that. Since we're talking about remasters, this one I thought was really interesting. There was commentary from Mark Dara, who worked on Dragon Age games, saying that he doesn't think a Mass Effect style remaster trilogy is possible for Dragon Age. Anna Larith, if you're here, feels bad because I know Anna loves Dragon Age. Anyway, Dara was at BioWare for 23 years, was executive producer on the Dragon Age series before leaving the studio in 2020 during the development of the Veilguard. But says Dragon Age fans hoping for remasters of the original trilogy may have had those hopes dashed by this producer, who says, essentially, we forgot how to make Dragon Age, which is the thing. So a lot of the original talent that made that game is like scattered to the winds. I mean, that's what happened with Bungie and with Halo as well. Original talent was scattered to the winds. When I got in there in 2015, most of them were gone already. It was like 10%, 15% of the studio was OG Halo people. So very different. You mean like when they made Joker movie, giving Joker an identity? Yes, exactly. Did the game show his cheeks, or was that show only? I think it was show only. Yeah, I forgot about that. Don't you see Master Chief butt cheeks in the show, Illuminous? Is Halo CE the first game to get remastered twice? I don't think so.
No, I said Last of Us.
Last of Us, yes, good call. Yep. Yes, Last of Us did.
Last of Us got fully remastered and remade, and I guess Halo falls under that category if you count Master Chief Collection. I was thinking like maybe RE4, but I don't think RE4 had too much done to it before they remade it, so I don't know if that counts. But I saw a thing, I know this is like kind of a total non sequitur, but Capcom put out like Resident Evil sales numbers, and Resident Evil 5 until like yesterday was the best-selling Resident Evil game of all of them, and Resident Evil 4 original didn't even make like the top 6.
That's crazy.
And it's because there's this big discussion about how a previous game in a franchise's success will drive the success of the next one almost every time. And so it's like 4 being really good and successful made 5 the most successful one in the franchise, but 5 wasn't that good, and so 6 didn't sell very well, and then 6 wasn't that good, and so they had to like reformulate for 7. But it's just like, I thought it was a really interesting discussion because people started talking about like other games that like kind of follow the same pattern. Like Halo 3, a lot of people would say is kind of like the peak of like the original Halo games, but then Halo 4 wasn't really very good, and then that made Halo 5 perform very poorly, and so on and so forth. So
you're missing Reach in that whole thing.
Yeah, I guess that technically counts, but the discussion was specifically around like the mainline entries in a series and how like the side ones like Reach don't technically count. I know in Halo, like I just said something blasphemous potentially to some people, but like just in terms of what these people were talking about, like that was kind of the read they were giving. It was like it had to be the actual main numbered parts of the series. So it's interesting stuff.
Reach was a very divisive game. It was Bungie's love letter to Halo as a game that they developed. I loved it for the campaign. A lot of people hated Halo Reach for the multiplayer because of shit like armor lock. So that's where it became really divisive. I thought the Reach campaign was probably the best campaign that Bungie has made. Personally, I loved it. I thought it was fucking fantastic. But there are other people who just strongly disagree with that, and they think it sucked and they hated it, and it wasn't about like the main stuff. They wanted more of the main Halo games, and then of course 343 made Halo 4 after Reach, and everyone was like, "What? Why do we have these like glass metal guys? And what the fuck is happening now?" And then it just got worse from there. I thought Halo Infinite was actually pretty good. For a 343 game, I thought Infinite was great. Yeah, there you go. See, Adder, I knew people were going to get mad about me saying Reach was the best. I do like ODST. ODST is great. I thought it was awesome, but I also didn't like not playing as Master Chief, you know?
I feel like people either think Reach is the best or like really don't, and there's not a ton of in between, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's that's why I was saying it's really divisive. I think everyone agrees that like if you go, okay, let's not include Reach, everyone's like Halo 3.
Yeah.
You know, because it was everything. If you cared more about multiplayer, it was Halo 2. But if it was the campaign and multiplayer, Halo 3 was definitely the most celebrated. And
I feel like I like Halo 2 way better than Halo 3 personally, but
I like them all.
I'm not a multiplayer guy, but like just like campaign wise, like
yeah,
I don't know. Halo 1's the best campaign of all of them by far. But
was it the Breaking Benjamin song that got you in that one? Or was it in 3? Am I fucking
no, that's definitely in 2. But the parts of the Halo 2 campaign that always stand out to me is like the Scarab shit at the beginning. Like,
yeah, that's so
fucking
good.
epic. Like going through the city, the giant laser mech thing, and you're climbing on top of it. Like I don't know. So sick.
It was very good. I mean, I think suffice it to say that the Bungie Halos are better than the 343 Halos and the Halo Studio Halos. I think everyone agrees on that. Yeah, I want to catch up on chat real quick. I saw a video essay yesterday about how high fidelity games don't let the player imagine things to fill in the blanks. And so there's a personal stake people have in older games because they essentially collaborated on their own playthrough. Yeah, I agree with that, Queen Anne. I think that's the problem. And you know, the way I describe that is disrespectful to the audience when the people making the thing are like, you're too stupid to understand. So I'm going to tell you that you need to go to like the yellow paint because you're not going to figure it out otherwise. That's bad. That's why people play games. They want to figure shit out. That's why we see a game like Elden Ring do crazy fucking numbers when, you know, all of Western dev is like, no, you can't make games like that. It's not going to work. People aren't going to like it. And then Japanese game devs just prove them wrong every fucking time. So yeah, Western dev is in a very sad state right now, especially AAA. AA and indie is doing very well. So yeah, keep it up, everyone. Speaking of Last of Us, pretty dope online co-op mod in development. It breaks my brain. Yeah, dude, that's the craziest shit to me. I saw some of that and like Illuminous. Do you have thoughts on Last of Us PvP? I remember you loved it back in the day. You were always trying to get me to play it.
I know a lot of people think Naughty Dog makes really good multiplayer, and that's always crazy to me. But I've heard Last of Us and what is the other Uncharted?
Yeah,
was supposed to have like really good PvP too, supposedly for people who are into it.
Yeah, it was interesting. I want to say I played 1 or 2 matches of it. I was like, all right, that's kind of cool because the combat felt great in Last of Us. They should have just made it Red versus Blue, the video game, if they were going to stray from the source material. I mean, yo, thank you guys for the Hitman. Thank you for the follow. Hey, we hit a fucking follower goal. Sweet. I don't even know what that means, but we did it. We did it, chat. Red versus Blue would have been crazy. Adder is like, whoa, Reach is the best. I did enjoy ODST, which is another outlier. Yeah, I thought Reach. So I was really into like the Halo lore, and that's why I liked Reach, because I was like, this is sick. And
I never actually played the game, but just the fact that they made it, and like I do know the entire story around it. Like, I don't know, it's one of the better stories in all of the Halo lore, I think, and it gets a little off the rails after the end of Halo 1.
Well, people were mad because like you don't always play as Chief, and like he gets on the Pillar of Autumn, and at the end of it, like you all die, which is the fall of Reach. And that's canon for the
the story, like you know that going in. So
yeah,
I don't know.
So that's why I loved it. I was like, holy shit, they did it so well. This is awesome. But there were people who didn't know that and were really mad. They're like, why am I not playing as this fucking guy that I played as for 3 games? And like, who the fuck are these jabronis? They're these jabronis, Noble Team. They're over here on my
jabronis, literally other Master Chiefs.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're right here. This is George and Kat, and I can't remember the other guy's name. But yeah, they're cool as fuck. I fucking love those guys. It was great. Yeah, here I could go grab it and bring it closer. Got the whole fucking Noble Team right here, boys.
That thing's so sick.
Rip, they're all dead. They all died at Reach. Well, they got Chief onto the Pillar of Autumn, and that led to, CE 2 and 3 and 5 and fucking Infinite and all that business.
The story just keeps getting worse every time they introduce a new race. Is kind of how I feel about it. Like, you don't really know about like the Forerunners or the Prophets or anything in Halo 1, and it's like really good. And then they like start adding in the Prophets and the Brutes in Halo 2, and it's getting a little muddy. And then by Halo 3, there's like the Forerunners in there. And then you got Halo 4, like the weird glass people. And it's like, guys, just you've got so many things going on now. Just chill.
Yeah, you're ruining it. Yeah.
Getting into an Alien versus Predator where the humans are teaming up with the Covenant to kill the Flood, and it's like, come on.
Yeah, so this is a prop, Pandoro. This is from my work on Destiny 2. I made the Whisper secret mission in Destiny 2, and this is a prop of the Whisper the Worm in my favorite skin, the Bone one. So that's a thing that a friend made for me. I have picked it up and showed it to you guys before, and we immediately got kicked offline on YouTube. YouTube does not like people handling even props and firearms of any kind. So it's not a firearm, it's a plastic thing. Yeah. So they didn't like that. So I can't pick it up and show it to you, but it's huge. It's like that big. Noble 6 is greater than Chief. That's a wild statement, Illuminous. My question for you was, you got into Last of Us PvP, right? Like that's what I was talking about. I was wondering what your feelings were about that. Because Adder was talking about multiplayer mod for Last of Us 2. I was a lead dev at Avalanche for a few years, and the entire team was similarly shocked, but it came up a few times. Wait, I was so impressed back when Just Cause 2 multiplayer dropped. Yeah, nice. Flood Zombies Halo was a missed opportunity. Yeah, that would have been better for Halo 4, I think. Nice. Yeah, I remember playing it in one of the stress tests they did, and it was utter chaos, but insanely fun. Nice. We tried adding multiplayer to later Avalanche games and ended up dropping it because of the effort and budget involved. Super impressive they made it happen on Just Cause 2. Yeah, multiplayer is like a whole ass thing, guys. Like, you should either design your game to be single player, co-op, or multiplayer. But like, trying to do all 3, you're going to make all of those experiences bad. They're oppositional forces. When you add another player to like a PvE single player campaign, it becomes dramatically easier because human beings are super smart and they're good at stuff and they get better at stuff. And if there's 2 human beings, you have to do crazy things like start scaling up the health and damage of the enemies, and it starts to lose that really solid game feel that you get from a single player version of it. That's super apparent in Destiny. Playing a single player strike versus like a full 3-person squad strike, hugely different experiences. And so, you know, for what it's worth, when I did my stuff in Destiny, the quests and missions and encounters and stuff that I built, all of them were built around 3-person teams when I was allowed to, right? There were some things that I had to make that were like so fucking easy that it didn't matter. But yeah. Let's see. Tony said the amount of retro games being improved lately is awesome. AI is revolutionizing the field. Yes, it is. I was pretty disappointed with Just Cause 3's multiplayer, but I also understand why it isn't more. It wasn't more. Yeah, I mean, like, you're a very level-headed gamer, though, LFQ. Master Chief Collection and VR third-party multiplayer on emulated PS3 games. That's crazy, Tony. I don't like
Adder work on Just Cause 3.
He was at Avalanche, and they did Just Cause, but I don't think he worked on those. You didn't work on Just Cause, right? Imagine the lowest possible budget at all times. It was a miracle the game itself even saw light of day. Yep. Last of Us 2 not launching with multiplayer was so tragic. Uncharted 4 multiplayer is Naughty Dog's best work. Interesting.
I hear a lot of people say that. Absolutely. Yep. You were on the tail end of Just Cause 3 and was the lead artist on Just Cause 4 and Rage 2. Oh, my bad.
Hell yeah, dude.
Dude, Rage 2 is a game that the visuals and like art style alone, every time I look at it, I'm like, that game looks cool. I want to play it. And then I like kind of like look into playing it, and I don't think it's supposed to be very fun to play, but like, as a cool looking game, I will give you that. You made it look fucking sick.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Poor Adder. Adder's worked on everything. No, and if for those of you who don't know, because I know we got some newer people hanging around, Adder's been working on a game called Mortal Shell 2, which comes out in August. I'm very much looking forward to it. August 20th. I'm really excited. They did a limited run of physical editions for the game. Those are all sold out. So Mortal Shell 2 is a great game. If you guys want to check it out, you can do so on Steam. There is a like 5+ hour demo. I think I put 10 hours into it. The full playthrough in the demo is like 4 or 5 hours. But I just went back and played more of it because I just really want to fucking play the game. So I'm super excited for it. Mortal Shell 2 Open Beta is what it's called on Steam. If you want to check it out. Very fun. I'm super excited. I left Just Cause 4 at the end for Arcane, and the studio founder's brother went in and recolor graded both projects. Oh, no. I don't like to take credit for those because I dislike how they looked at ship. Yeah, that's totally fair, Adder. Dude, that's rough. Thanks for the shout out, dudes. Yeah, no problem, man. I mean, they should have just fucking trusted you because you made Mortal Shell 2 look great. So, yeah. You guys may not know this, but there's like a space you can get to that has this really soft lighting that really made me think of like Denis Villeneuve type cinematography or like shot composition with this like soft light in these like, you know, cream colored off-white sandstone walls that are really fucking cool. It just the moods are so good in this game. It's very cool. So I'm super excited. Combat is interesting. I started playing Sekiro again. And Sekiro's not as hard as I remembered it being because I'm just focusing on parrying. Like that's pretty much all I'm doing, and I'm way more successful. So Mortal Shell, I would say, is probably, it doesn't feel like any of these other games. It kind of feels like a little bit of a Devil May Cry Ninja Gaiden with slower pacing, closer to God of War, but it uses parry mechanics and ranged weapons in a way that none of these other games do. Combo system is very gratifying. Parrying is super important. You can get through without parrying, but if you add parry to your whole skill set, you are so much more successful. So it's got some great depth to it. Lots of customization, tons of different things to do. Yeah, Illuminus said I finally played it, the demo, and it rips. Yes, it does. The shotgun is great. Dude, there's a bunch of weapons too. Like you're not just confined to the shotgun. And there's like upgrades and different things you can do that change the style of how the shotgun works. You can change your block and parry. There's like different ways to make that work. Your main weapon can change. The character you play as can change because they're different hero shells and they all have different play styles. So it's very, very cool. There's a lot of depth. Shotgun can be reclassed into a grenade launcher too, because why not? Hell yeah. Yeah, Luminous, you got to get through Souls 3, dude. But also Sekiro, because yeah, Sekiro's great. LFQ says, I played a bit of the demo, but I had some unfortunate crashes. I believe it's mostly down to my PC being weird, but also sending crash reports. Nice. That's nice of you to do that. I bet you that Adder has probably fixed a bunch of those crashes at this point. I would assume it's going to be a lot more stable. It is good to send those in for sure. We definitely look at every crash report. Yeah. Yeah, LFQ made Adder do more work. That's very true. I have weird crashes in a lot of games. Bro, you got to stop running that cheat engine. I'm kidding. LFQ would never. I fixed probably 40 to 50 crash reports in the past 2 weeks, mostly hardware specific. Hell yeah. You don't have a cheat engine? Yeah, I was playing, dude. I didn't think you did. LFQ is a real gamer. Where are we at? We're almost wrap up time.
Yeah, it's
here?
probably time.
Yeah.
Stevie's got a fucking Mecha Chameleon party going on over there, so we could join the fun.
Yeah, it's Stevie's 10-year anniversary of being a partner or something like that on Twitch.
Yeah.
So yeah, we could go make Stevie extra happy.
Stevie's been showing the love. We should probably do that. So
yeah, she's got a crew of people she's playing with right now. So there's like a 4-party co-stream or something.
I don't really see anybody else that I know on either, but if anybody else has a suggestion.
Illuminus said we killed the guy with mad sack, so that was gross. What guy had mad sack? Are you talking about
the rotted tree in Dark he's got a big pus sack on the front.
That's fucking gross.
Yep.
Intel CPU with AMD card can be gnarly. I have an AMD CPU and GPU. Are you overclocking, LFQ? I mean, not that we're going to be able to help you. I think you're pretty competent. Rough, but at least more consistent. Most of our crashes are AMD card related. Should be significantly more stable in the latest build. Outstanding. Oh, no. Are you live, Queen Anne?
Doesn't look like it.
No, Queen Anne, please suggest.
You're gonna go live, like
yeah,
absolutely.
We've never rated you, so I'm more than happy. You're super supportive, and we love having you around. So might as well send people over to you to check out what you're working on. So yeah, let us know as soon as you're live, and we'll shoot you the raid. We'll send everyone over.
Yeah, go for it.
Stevie's vibing. She's got a lot of love going on right now. So if you're new to it and you want to get in there, it'd be great to get some eyes on you. So yeah, we'll send the whole gang over.
If you're gonna do game dev, it's probably a little more appropriate of a pass than go and watch somebody play Mecha Chameleon.
So while she's going live, I'll tell you guys what Queen Anne's been working on. Her game is called Endless You, and it is a puzzle platformer. It reminded me a lot of Braid. Last time I played it was a few months ago. It's relatively early days still. But yeah, she's got a team. They've got some funding. They're cranking along. So if you want to see what she's doing, Queen Anne is a super competent game designer, very creative artist, awesome person. She's got, great sense of humor. Very cool. We love having Queen Anne around here. Always good for conversation. I don't know. We've pushed any of the latest stuff to demo beta, but we only have like 20 days to full launch. Yeah, it is soon, Adder. You're welcome, Queen Anne. Yeah. I'm stalling. I'm giving you time here to click your button and all that.
Adder, are you guys keeping the demo up after launch?
That's a good question.
It's a big demo. It makes me wonder, but gives everybody a good taste, I guess, so you can let them try.
keeping it going. Queen Anne, is your avatar? Hold on.
It's like a bird.
Yeah, it's like a little owl. White bird.
It's like a pigeon or something, but yeah, dove.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna click the button. Kind of going.
Yeah, Adder, I know we're gonna lose you, but I guess my question was more like, are you gonna update it and keep it functional? Sounds like maybe not.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good way to sell more copies. You know.
Yeah. Not if they can't update it though.
A bird, a fancy pigeon. Excellent.
No. All right. Well, we'll see you guys 2 tomorrow. Go give Queen Anne the love and the Beppis, and yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Prismatica gang. You guys are awesome. Thank you for hanging out, and thank you for the follows. Appreciate the conversation. You know, we get rated, but you know, not a lot of people chat sometimes, and a fair amount of you had some, you know,
always really cool to see Prismatica too. It's been a little while, but you know, definitely been a follower for a long time.
All right, gang, go give Queen Anne some love, drop a bunch of trees in chat, say hello. Have a good one, and we will see you tomorrow, 2 to 4 Mountain Time.